Yo, 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 what's going on, everyone? What up, what up? It's your girl, Miss DJ Hoodie, getting at you guys with finally another Why Run podcast episode. Today is February 27th, 2025, and where the fuck did February go? It just came and went. Ooh, yeah, like, I know this year's like a leap year, and it's really showing its ass. It is, oh my gosh, but it's really hard to catch up, isn't it? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I kind of feel like that. Like, I kind of feel like, yeah, everything's moving like so fast. And even Rob's been saying that. And he's like, man, I'm just trying to catch up. Like, everything just comes to him so fast. Everything comes to me so fast. And yeah, when I get like a spiritual vision or a spirit talking to me, and spirits, they're like, oh, well, we're just gonna tell you this one time, so you better, remember or write down what the hell I'm saying, because I'm only gonna say it to you once. And if you look in my notebook, it's all chicken scratch. So yeah, everything is just moving fast, and we can't keep up with the news right away. And that was like another thing that Rob and I were talking about, is that, you come out, or they come out with some kind of news, right? In the media, social media, whatever. And it just gets buried so quickly with the new bullshit. And the new bullshit is like, how is that even news? But it is. It's just fucking stupid and wild. And yeah, so Rob obviously is not with me on this episode because he's off doing his spiritual work. So that's where he's at. And if you guys have been rolling with me for years on the Why Run podcast, you guys will know that I talk about spirituality in today's modern society. And I try to bring back focus to people that are being thrown off, whether it's people that you know, or you're being negatively influenced by social media, celebrities, lifestyle, spirituality. I try to, I guess, wake you guys up. This isn't like me trying to brainwash you or anybody. I'm trying to teach you guys how to get your focus back, to realign the way that you all should be thinking, so that you guys are not blindsided, or what Rob says, sucker punched, that sort of thing. So I would say, let's get into it. So I know that Rob and I, when we talk, or, we have said many, many times on the Y Run that when you're talking, your cell phone devices or technology, it's listening to you. So it's listening to your conversations. It's watching what you're searching or what you're responding to, comments, things like that, right? And like, I don't know. But it's almost like some of the things that I think about, some of the things that my spirits approach me with, the things that I'm thinking, or let's say praying about, because these are things that I'm keeping to myself. And the very exact thing, and Rob's been kind of he's receiving the same, it's happening to him too, because he'll be like, oh, I dreamt about this, or I seen this, or God was telling me this and that. And these were things that, I wrote in my journal, for instance. And then like the next day or couple days, it's like presented to him, like on social media or in his class, or, something. And he's just like, I was just thinking about that yesterday or the day before. The same thing is happening to me. I don't want to be like, oh, I just don't say anything. But it's like my prayers and, like my spiritual routine. It's, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But, anyways, how is it that I come across an article that, I haven't searched for anything? It just like appeared. It was so strange. And oh my gosh, I feel like there's just so much that I I feel like I'm not saying. I'm unsure if I should say it and just like jump into it, and then maybe it'll come out, maybe it'll make sense or whatever. Okay, so I would like to focus this episode on emotionally immature people. And what's wild, what I'm trying to get out is there's an article that says people who are emotionally immature always use these 12 phrases, say communication experts. And I get it. It's an article. You got to remain professional. These articles are getting shorter and shorter. For one, they're not like full on articles. They just, they'll put like a headline, and then they'll like write 2 to 3 sentences, and then they go on to the next headline. So okay, so I'm going to read these things, and I'm not going to read the description, but I am going to respond to the headline. So they said 12 phrases that emotionally immature people use or say. Okay, so the first one, it says, it's not my fault. Immature, what was it? Emotionally immature. Sometimes I feel like these things are needed. It's like, who's saying it? You know what I mean? Like, I know, okay, let me say this. I've admitted to the Why Run podcast, I've admitted this to my parents. I mean, they were witnesses to it during my narcissistic time. And Rob knows that I was once narcissistic. Okay? It just depends on the person, like who's saying it. Right? So they're pinpointing emotionally immature people. But it almost kind of sounds like if you say these things, you are immature, emotionally immature. Could be. Okay, but let's get into these headlines. Okay, it's not my fault. I say this every now and again because it's like I would tell somebody something, and let's say they don't follow it, or if they try to throw it back on me, I will say that. I would be like, that's not my fault. Like, you, like, and that's another thing. That's one of the phrases is, not taking responsibility. And it's like, oh, it's not me, it's you. So this is kind of like, I could see why people are not trusting to each other. And we just all sound like we're fucking emotionally immature or narcissistic or whatever. But I'm trying to tell you guys that, okay, if an article is telling you, because this whole article, it's written or made, or its intention is to show you or to give you a warning that, hey, narcissistic or emotionally immature people will say this to you. So it's almost like if somebody like me is saying it to you, like, of course, you're going to think that I'm the one that's emotionally immature because you read the article. See how that's kind of like, so what kind of person is telling you it's not my fault, or what kind of person is reading this article? Because this article can fall into the hands of a narcissist and be like, oh, you're the narcissist because I read this article and you're saying everything, like all the 12 phrases. That's why it's like, okay, I'm telling you as a listener, okay, and I'll drop this article link. That way you guys can check it out for yourself and you guys can read the 2-3 sentences description of the headline. And you guys understand, like, you know what? It depends on what type of person is saying this to me. Because I think you would still have a little wiggle room to decipher what, like, depending on what it is and like how severe it is, right? Or if you feel like you know the person, or they're just, like, this person to be very like together and mindful, thoughtful, all of these things, to saying something like, it's not my fault. So that's kind of like the wiggle room. Like, okay, is this person having a moment? Next headline. Number 2. If you hadn't done that, it wouldn't have happened. So briefly, it says, I'm just going to take a little part of the sentence. It says, an emotionally immature person will do everything in their power to not take responsibility for their actions. Again, I'll read it. Number 2. If you hadn't done that, it wouldn't have happened. Again, I've said that to people before. Does that make me an emotional, immature person? Because many of times I have talked to people and they come with me, they come to me with a problem and they can't make a decision. So I'm the type of healer that will lay out all of their options. I will lay out many different paths and I would guide them up to a certain point that, okay, if you decide to go down this path, this might happen. If you go down this other path, this might happen. And if you go down this other path, this, and this might happen. And if it does happen, this is what you do. This is what you could do. This is what you should do. So if you think about it, like one path could lead to a fork in the road. And when that happens, you have another decision. And if you choose one of those other paths, you may come across this. And if you do, just so you know, you could retrace your steps and try a different route. I'm not telling them what to do, but see, that's what they try to fire back at me for. No. So I have said that. If they take in the wrong path and then they try to come at me, I have said, if you hadn't done that, it wouldn't have happened. The last part, yeah, that kind of sounds, well, it is narcissistic. It wouldn't have happened. I still kind of told you, though. I kind of told you that if you don't do this, this other thing won't happen. It's either you want something to happen or you don't. So there are many, many different kinds of scenarios when it comes to number 2. Number 3, I don't need to explain myself to you. If you ever hear me say that, it's because I've already told you. I've already told you everything. I've already explained myself to you this way, this way, this way, and this way. I've broken it down to nuts and bolts. I've broken it down to you and it took me hours. I've already broke it down to you in a few sentences. So it's almost like you don't trust and believe that I didn't explain myself enough to you. Or like you're talking to me like I don't care to explain myself to you when I've already done that. So I have said to people, I don't need to explain myself anymore to you. Because you should already know. The many times that I've told you. So I think people just pick and choose that, I'm not going to hear this shit. So that's number 3. Number 4, you're overreacting. I've said this recently to my husband, and it's not like, oh my God, you're overreacting. Like, not like that. It's more like, why are you so surprised? Or like, why are you scared? Or like, you kind of been knew this, so why are you, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the problem? In the first sentence, it says, this is a combo of gaslighting, trying to make others believe a false reality. And again, I'll drop links so that you guys can check out the rest of the description for yourselves. But like, you're overreacting. Yes, a very narcissistic thing to say. That like, oh, it's not my fault that, oh my gosh, I said this a few months ago. Like, I was giving a for instance, when people say like, oh my God, like, you're tripping, or, you know, and I was giving a for instance, like, it's almost like you're saying like, oh, it's not my fault that you're the one that has an issue with it. Like, that's not my fault. See, we're taking it back to number 1 when I said that. But that is what they say. Like, oh, it's not my fault that, you know, you're too sensitive, or, you know what I mean? Let's see. Below that it says, another toxic phrase in this vein is, you're being too sensitive. We just said that. Number 5, yeah, whatever. I say this all the time because it's almost like there's nothing you can do about it. But see, when somebody that hears you say this and they don't know the situation and what you're saying it about, like, they're gonna be like, oh my God, she must be a narcissist, because again, you know, these are the people talking, the narcissists talking. Oh, she's a narcissist because I read the article. And anybody that says, yeah, whatever, they're the narcissist. See, so they're trying to one up you and people. But it's like, you don't know me, first of all. Second, you don't know why I'm saying, yeah, whatever. So when you guys listen to the Re-Up podcast, and it's me doing shop and delivery orders, or I'm doing food deliveries, you'll hear me say, oh my God, like, whatever. It's because there's nothing that you can do to change society. You could change the situation, which I would love to do, but I'm looking at who I'm approaching, like who I'd be saying it to. And the way people are, their body language, the things that they say, or the vehicles that they're in, that they feel intimidates people. So it's like, okay, this person looks like he tries to intimidate people. So what is someone like me gonna say to someone in a truck that says, yeah, whatever? It's like, fuck your feelings. It's like fuck your safety. You know? So it's like, yeah, whatever. Like, you know, and that's just like, I am, right here it says, I'm done discussing this. It says, people use that simple whatever often with a shrug to say, I'm done discussing this. So for me, when I say it out on the road, I'm just like, yeah, go figure. Of course this motherfucker's gonna do what he does in a truck. Pff, whatever. I hope I'm making sense and I'm not just like, you know, just like talking shit. I'm trying to show you guys that if you use these phrases, that does not mean you are a narcissist. If you are again, mindful person, a thoughtful person, because you'll have, like I said, this article could get into the hands of a narcissist. Let's say a narcissist in your life, and they try to convince you that because you're being smart by not feeding into their bullshit when you say number 5, yeah, whatever. Go fucking figure that you would say that because you're a full fucking narcissist. You're trying to twist and turn this shit right back on me. Yeah, whatever. I fucking know what you're about. Yeah, whatever. Moving on to number 6. What are you talking about? I never said that. See how that just flown out of my mouth like I smooth did it? What are you talking about? I never said that. I should be an actress. And the first sentence says, here we go again with the gaslighting. Second sentence, people who are emotionally immature rewrite reality. What are you talking about? I never said that. Now, I have said that before many times in conversations. And yes, there are times that when we all say something, right? And see, there's a narcissist in me, like taking it to the masses instead of myself. But we have, all of us, we all have said that before. This very phrase, what are you talking about? I never said that. We've all said that. But like, my excuse, and I would say my valid excuse, because it does happen. I'm the most truthful fucking person. I will tell on myself. I will tell on myself. A narcissist can't. They would never dream of telling on themselves. But when I say, what are you talking about? I never said that. Sometimes, or for me, most of the time, my mind does go so fast that it's hard for my mouth to keep up. So you saying something, right? Especially if you're a spiritual person, you do have two sides to you. You have your modern side and you have your spirituality side. So if communication, like, you get your signals crossed, that could be, or it is, something that will throw you off. And again, I'm not trying to make up an excuse, but it does happen. So if somebody says to me, and again, this has happened before, like, no, you actually said that, I would say, well, I don't know why I would say that. Yeah, that sounds narcissistic too. But for me, when people, or narcissists, when they say, like, yeah, you said that. For me, I would be like, no, I don't think I'd say something like that. Because you're the one that knows yourself more. They don't know you. They're trying to pinpoint it on you. That's why when someone says, yeah, you said that, and I'd be like, no, I don't think I'd say that. I would say this other thing because that's really how I feel, or that's how I took it. But if you're saying that that's how I said it, that don't sound like me. That sounds like you. That's something that sounds like something that you would say. So, again, let's go back to number 6. What are you talking about? I never said that. I do say, what are you talking about? Yeah, I say that a lot. And when I say I never said that, I know the things that I would say and wouldn't say because I watch very carefully at what I say. I don't care how I say it because I don't give a fuck about a voice being raised at me. So I don't care about how I sound when I say it. It's the message. It's what I'm saying. That's the truth. That's what I pay attention to. That's why when someone curses me out, like they could be like, fuck you, you fucking bitch. And that, like, I don't hear those words. I hear your anger, like how you're expressing it. But it's like, okay, you're mad at me. But when I say things like, I never said that because I know what I would say. You got to know yourself very, very well before someone tries to make up things in your character that you know is not you. So keep that in mind. Number 7, it's your problem, not mine. I say that to people that have no fucking brain. I'll be fucking for real. I will fucking say that to somebody that is a piece of shit. I would be like, yo, that's your fucking problem. That's not mine. And the way that I say it is, since you don't want to change, that's your problem. Or I told you this would happen. And now you're stuck with this problem and you wanted to do it. I didn't. So you deal with it, not me. I told you I didn't want any fucking part in it. You know, and see, that kind of sounds fucked up when, you know, you're my friend, or you're my family member, or, you know, you're my significant other. Like, yeah, that sounds fucked up because it sounds like I don't have your back. But it's like, if you know, if you stand with yourself and your beliefs, your morals, that was not the thing or the right thing to do, and you're just like, fuck, if you do it, I don't want no fucking part of it. And then when they go and do it, and then they come back to you, then it's like, fuck, that's literally like your problem, not mine. Like, I know it sounds fucked up, like I said, because they're looking for someone to have your back and to get you to help them to fix everything. And of course, you know, like, that's the person that you love, you know, so you're gonna do it. But if it's coming back to you from a person that's a piece of shit, and like, you can't tell them nothing, like, they just got their mind set up and they're just like, oh, fuck you and fuck the rest of the world, I'm gonna fucking do what I want to do. And then when it fucking backfires, yeah, it is your problem, not mine. So you guys gotta, you know, it needs to be more explained, you know. And I am so critiquing this article, but they're only kind of seeing it from an innocent person's point of view. But it needs, like, people, okay, they've written it for innocent people, but innocent people need more, not just a few fucking sentences, because they're just gonna be like, oh, you know. But we live in a world today where everything is supposed to be quick and simple. Quick and simple, quick and simple. That's why you have platforms like TikTok and Instagram, where they have reels and they're quickly made. A 10-second video is supposed to just be like, boom, there, I showed you, now go do it. Like, go try it for yourself. But there are people that need explaining, because it is still manipulating. These 10-second videos are still manipulating people. You're supposed to just be that smart. And people go off watching these 10-second videos thinking that they're smart, and then shit like this gets pulled on them. Think about it, people. Okay, number 8. You're making such a big deal out of nothing. Now, I don't say these exact words, but I can pull the feeling. Like, sometimes people, okay, I say, you know, something similar to this to people that have anxiety, because that's, you know, again, with these short videos of a disaster or a killing, or, you know, politics, or, you know, if your boyfriend is doing this, he's cheating on you. So of course it's gonna raise your anxiety. That's what it's gonna do, right? But for me, I would be like, you're making such a big deal out of nothing. Because it's like, okay, I'm not gonna take it at face value. I'm gonna dig deep, and I'm gonna dig fucking hard. I'm gonna ask questions, and I'm gonna be like, who the fuck wrote this shit? Who the fuck published this shit that is giving 10 million people anxiety all at once? Who are you to say that is exactly, precisely, letter perfect what it is? I'm questioning you, because you're giving the masses anxiety. And see, that's what they're hoping for. 10 million people dumb enough to believe what they're saying for likes, clicks, shares, and YouTube money, or TikTok money, or Instagram money. So I will take the whatever, like a person that has severe anxiety. I would be like, you really are making a big deal out of nothing. And here's why. I don't just say that and then walk away. Can you imagine? You're making such a big deal out of nothing. Oh my God. And then walk away and leave them there like that, feeling so anxious, so depressed. That's fucked up. But see, again, this article is focusing on, this is one of the 12 things that an immature, what was it? Immature. I feel like saying sensitive, emotionally immature person. Okay. This article is trying to tell people that this is what emotionally what is that? Insecure. Immature, excuse me. This is what people say, look out for it. But see, again, when I say it, I'm adding to it. Like, I'm going to tell you why you're making such a big deal of it. A narcissist, or whoever, the beginning or the title of this article, yeah, they would say that and then walk away. But me, I'm going to tell you why you're making it such a big deal out of nothing. And if somebody says any of these things, I would tell you to question them. Question them. If they're saying you're making such a big deal out of nothing, and if they walk away, just say, no, 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 no. You can't just say that to me and then walk away. Fucking tell me why I'm making such a big deal out of nothing. And if they want to do all of these other shit that they're saying, oh, it's your problem, not mine. What was this? What are you talking about? I never said that. Yeah, whatever. You're overreacting. I don't need to explain myself to you. See, if they're saying all of these things to you, see, right back at you, you're just like, yeah, that's what I thought. You can't fucking tell me why I'm making such a big deal out of nothing. You got no fucking feeling at all. And that's the truth. Say that to them. You got no fucking feeling at all. Number 9. You're talking about the past. Let me see. I'm wondering if I should say this. It says, yes, it's usually best to focus on the future, but emotionally immature people will often accuse people who bring up their mistakes of harping on the past. And there's more that goes along with it, but I'm not going to say that part. You're talking about the past. For me, spiritually, when people say that, it's like, okay, well, you haven't addressed the past. Because you know that the past, talking about the past or your past, not you, but the narcissist, talking about a narcissist's past would tell all of why they act like this. So that's why for them, they throw that at people like, oh my God, you're just focusing on the past. Like, why are you bringing up the past? It's because they know that it's going to reveal who they really are. And they don't like hearing about themselves. So if somebody says, oh, you're talking about the past, at least you can face your past. That's what I always tell people. Don't be afraid to go back. If you can go back, you are doing a lot more. You are a stronger person that you actually can, and it not hurt you. Because people, they will, like again, a narcissist. See how they turn it around on you? They're gonna use your past against you. And if you could say, yeah, I told you that. Look at you throwing up my past. At least I can face my past. You can't. You haven't told me about anything about who and what who you were as a little kid. But see, narcissists, they will never reveal anything to anyone because they don't want anyone throwing it back in their face. But in the beginning of you guys' friendship, relationship, marriage, and if they throw it back on you, you trusted them. And here they are throwing it back in your face. But what about them? What about them? If you know nothing of their past, you can pretty much figure it out. Because of how they're acting. Maybe you don't really need to know their past. Look at how they are now, how they're treating you. That's the key. That's the loophole. You don't have to know how they were as a kid. Look at how they are now. Grown-ass people don't know how to treat another human being. Those fuckers need help. Number 10. I was just joking. I fucking hate that. When they joke too much, for me, they're putting our friendship, relationship, whatever ship on the line. When they fucking know that you don't like something and they keep doing it over and over and over and then hit you back with, I was just joking. You need to learn how to take a joke. Nah, fuck that. Fuck that. They just say that to buy you some fucking time. That they're the bigger person, because to them, you can't take a joke, but they can. Okay. If you're smart, you could play a joke back on them and see how they fucking like it. So if you know that they don't like something, right? And if you did it back to them intentionally and you see them get mad, oh my God, fucking learn how to take a joke. I was just joking. But see, if your whole entire relationship, friendship, whatever, is based on just, I was just joking, get the fuck away from that person. Get that fucking person out of your life, or remove yourself out of that life, because that's going to be the rest of your life with that person that can't stop themselves and have respect for you. And I'll tell you right now, this is how much I know myself. There's some things that I could take a joke, but there's some things you just don't fuck with. Don't play with me on these other things that you know I don't like, or things that make me uncomfortable. And it's just not a nice thing to do. It's not nice. Who the fuck thinks that's funny? Something's wrong with you. Fucking psychopath. Okay, number 11. You always do this, or you never do that. Yeah, I say that loads of times. And I believe myself that it's true. See, I would never say these phrases if it wasn't true, or if I didn't believe in whatever accusations, right? I would fucking keep my mouth shut until I got all the facts. I would stay quiet, like, you know what? I don't have enough to go on to be saying these things or accusing someone of these things. But if someone is saying it to you, like, oh, you always do this, and fucking ask them, when? When did I do that? Or when did I say that? Or when do I never not do this? Or when do I never not do that? When? Wait, you want me to give you dates? Yes. Give me a time too. I will challenge a motherfucker. Do I say that to people? Yes, because, again, I believe it to be true. That's how they act, or that's what they say, or that's what they never do. Lastly, number 12. I don't know. I have to read this one. Number 12, it says, but everyone does it. I do that to, well, I say this phrase in sarcasm. Like, if somebody's doing dumb shit, like, let's say, everybody is doing a specific niche, right? To get, let's say, a lot of views on their videos, or to get YouTube money. Like, let's say twerking, shaking your ass on camera. Like you're in a fucking virtual strip club, right? I say this thing as sarcasm, like, oh, maybe I should twerk and shake my ass to get that YouTube money. Or I should twerk and shake my ass because everyone does it to make YouTube money. But let's see what it says. If there's one phrase that really sounds like a kid said it, it's this one. How many of us use, but all the kids are doing it, argument trying, usually in vain, to get our parents to allow us to do something. But emotionally immature adults use it too. That's fucking crazy. You grown ass fucking adult using, but everyone does it. Yeah, I don't know. I could probably see someone that has an addiction saying this. And they're just like, oh, like, let's invest. Everyone's doing it. That's why everybody's, rich, and everybody's rolling around in Cadillacs and shit. Like, I could see an adult saying it like that to manipulate someone that it's okay to invest all of their money into something. But I don't know. I don't think this applies to everyone, though. But, ooh, yeah. Think about all of these things, man. Think about all of these things, because, like, you guys may not have spiritual abilities. Well, okay, everyone does, but we were all taught as children that it was just our imagination. They're really trying to get us, brainwash us, or stripping us of our natural spiritual abilities when we were children, okay? But like articles like this, yes, it does have some truth to it, but it's only one-sided, which is not a narcissistic side and a normal human side. I'm talking a modern side and a spiritual side. I hope that's making sense to you guys, but I would say include spirituality in your life as well when you're dealing with everyone in your life, because things will start, or they will start to show you who they really are and their true intentions and how they see you, because it's fucking with you. If you find yourself stressed, confused, drained, all of these negative things, right? And you're just like, man, I'm trying to sleep better. I'm trying to, take my vitamins. I'm trying to, get massages, be stress free. Like I'm trying to, eat better foods and drink more water. Like if you're actively doing these physical things, right? But it's your spirit, it's your universe that's polluted. That's what will throw you off. To include that. And once you start realizing the spiritual side of things in your life, not only will it show you, but it will also dispose of the toxic people in your life out. You don't have to confront anyone. Other people's like negative spirits, they'll sense it. And they'll be like, oh, all of a sudden, I kind of don't want to talk to her anymore. Or I don't want to talk to this person anymore. Because their spirit, negative spirit, is telling them that, yo, we got to bounce. And if the person is questioning, like, well, why do I got to bounce? Don't ask questions. Let's just get out of here. See, that's a negative spirit's telling them. And see, they're so fucked up in the head by these negative entities that they have no choice but to follow. So the soul, their negative soul, owns them, the vessel. And you just got to let them go. They were causing you stress. Of course you're going to miss them. Of course you're going to miss all the hanging out and the talks. Like, oh, I told them things and they told me things. Like, they were my friend. But it's like, yo, things in the world are changing. People change. Just that chapter in your life and in their life is over. It's okay. You'll feel better. You'll see. And give it a chance. Trust in your spirit. Trust in your universe. You'll be happier. You'll see it. You'll feel it most of all. Don't fucking allow these phrases, because these phrases hurt. These phrases hurt. I know, because I've had every single one of these sentences I've had said to me. And I have said it to people, but I explain why I'm saying it. And it's not to hurt them. It's to tell them that I'm not the one you say those fucking things to. I'm not the one. And I'm not falling for it. And I watched these people that have said these things, I watched them leave. And I felt better. And you can too. That is it for this episode. Thank you all so much for pressing play. I hope you have some takeaways and implement it into your life. You'll see. And it's okay. Don't forget to add, rate, comment, subscribe, follow, and share. And I will check you guys in the next Why Run podcast episode.